What's happening, y'all? Some teacher will be back at it again. Welcome back to the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces segment. Tongue twister. We're gonna say that fast 5 times. What is really gonna be ushering in a little bit for the collective? You know, we spoke about a lot in the last video in Virgo. We're not here. You know, we're 2 weeks, week or so. We're gonna have 2 weeks or so from that last video, and now we're in a new period, in a new time, in a new segment. And this segment, we're in a little bit of a different period.
I know that I'm a foreign star. If you might type, I'll make you mine. If they ain't showing no love, I don't let it get to my mind. And I begin to it with my craft divine, I claim what's mine. I can't play all of those games, had to protect my time. I know that I'm a foreign star.
Right, with the full moon here coming around, it's really releasing, you know, what no longer serves. Really feeling through that, allowing that feeling to process in order for us to let it go. Pisces is deep water. Pisces is a collective. Pisces is deep emotion. The subconscious, right? And you have to, and in order to actually release chemically with this full moon, you have to actually feel all of it through. You know, you have to feel deeply. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and understand, you know, your emotions and understand what you need to process and what you've yet to process. You know, kind of coming to the realization of that. That's more so the aha moment that a lot of people were going to be coming into, and that's probably the realization that you're coming into as well. Like, okay, what you need to actually let go in order to actually continue moving forward, right? That's something that will be a big theme here during this time. Based upon Pisces being deep water, there's a lot of things that, you know, that could have fogged your water, could have brought fogginess or a sense of delusion to your vision, to your dreams, to your creative attributes, to your creative aspects in your life. And now it's kind of getting the full moon here is kind of illuminating the waters and, you know, showing you where the waters have been muddied, where they've been dirty, and where you need to get clear with those waters and what you need to eliminate, what you need to feel in order to get clear, because there's things you've been putting on the back burner in terms of feeling, right, and actually processing emotionally. Because Pisces is so deep, it's all coming up to the surface, and you're realizing, you know, all these emotions that actually need to be processed. It's actually like an infinite amount. It's like a sea of emotions, and, you know, it's continuous. It's like a continuous process. You know, feeling and understanding how to process your emotions is an infinite thing that you know you're going to continue to go through, to continue to learn and master and progress through, right? So it is like coming back up from the surface. It could be even old situations as well, old emotions and old memories and certain things that you were tied to that you didn't realize were affecting you subconsciously, but now in this position that you are day to day, throughout your relationships, throughout your routines, throughout your work life, your well-being, your state, your mindset, you're kind of seeing how these things are hindering you in your life in a way, and hindering your actual conscious actions, right? And why certain things end up in the back burner, end up in the subconscious realm, due to certain things, you know, not being addressed and not actually being fully processed and fully felt through. Okay. Another key point to remember that Virgo season, eclipse season, is a time of surrender. So all the feelings that you're going to feel during this time, that you're gonna have to, that you notice you want to process, that you notice you should process, that you have to process, it is asking you to surrender, to feel through that, to accept it. It's like a moment of acceptance. There's going to be a lot of things where it's actually an easier time to flow with these things and to flow with the change and not force your hand with certain things. It's teaching you how to surrender to the energy, to a greater or bigger picture beyond just you know. So it's definitely getting clarity with the illusion, right? A lot of times Pisces is a very sensitive energy as well, and obviously the moon rules our emotions, so this is also, it's going to be an extremely sensitive time overall. So with that being said, you know, you want to be mindful of your emotions, not to hurt easily. This is why it's a period of acceptance, because you can be kind of hard on yourself based upon the emotions you didn't process, and you don't want to do that. Like, you want to be gentle on yourself and be able to you know, actually feel it, because if you're too harsh and, you know, you're kind of downplaying your emotions, then you'll close off to actually processing what you need to feel and what you need to heal. What you go through, you grow through. So at the end of the day, it's important not to actually be so hard on yourself, and actually have some cognitive thinking, understanding towards these forms of, you know, thoughts and things of that nature. The sensitivity is why we can run circles around our imagination and be in our own feelings, be in our own head, be in our own delusion, So it's important to actually safeguard that in a way. You're definitely seeing where not processing your emotions may have hindered certain dreams and certain imaginations, because you actually need to embody the spiritual vibration of certain things that you wanted to come into your reality, right? Your visions and things of that nature. So visualizations, manifestations, those are great things to do at this time. You may be realizing that you've missed certain shifts on actually honing in on that feeling, which is why you're kind of playing catch up now. So it's important to actually process those feelings so you understand and actually can anchor those visions and dreams into your reality. Now, the new moon that we'll be having at the end of this month as well, which is going to be cusp Virgo and Libra, which is going to be an interesting time. So that's going to be around the 21st. We'll make sure to upload that a little bit early for you guys. Full moon being in its time right now, there's a lot of energy available. Because there's lots of energy on a full moon, people born under this are very nervous, right? So if you're born under a full moon, it's like a very chaotic energy. It's because things are just being illuminated in your life all the time. So that's something to be mindful of as well. It's important to note that it's important to actually utilize the sun in Virgo, like I mentioned before, as the period of the hermit, to kind of sit down with, kind of get clear with your space, kind of withdraw a little bit from the outside world and kind of go within, to kind of get clarity on where you need to find clarity in those dreams, what you need to process emotionally to actually anchor those dreams into reality, what forms of thinking do you need to shift, right? As Virgo, as Mercury, Virgo ruled by Mercury, so what thought forms and things of that nature do you need to shift in order to anchor these dreams and emotions into reality. And same with the thoughts, same with the emotions. What emotions do you need to hone in on to actually anchor these thoughts and visions into reality? There are forms of communications and interests as well. So are you communicating? Are you communicating your dreams? Are you communicating how and what you need to feel in order to process these things? There's your self-image as well, and your basic identity, and also your career. So with the sun in Virgo, it's important to structure out your dreams in order to solidify them, right? Develop a routine, develop a form of organization towards your dreams, towards your creative thing, creative attributes and things of that nature. That way you can embody that self-identity. You become it. It's not something that you're chasing. It's not something that's outside of you. It's something that you are, right? And when you are affirming it in a way that you are now changing the dynamic of reality, because it's not outside of you, right? It's in you, not on you. So at that point, you're now cultivating based upon who you are, and from an internal viewpoint instead of an external level of validation or praise and things of that nature in some way, shape, or form. It's coming from your inner world, which is your moon, your lunar. That's what's being illuminated right now. Your inner world, your emotions, and that vibration is what cultivates which cultivates your state of being, which cultivates your self-image and your basic identity. That leads into your career and so on and so forth. On the lunar eclipse, we notice that our feelings and emotions are altered. Introspection and meditation are very, very important around this time. During a lunar eclipse, it's important to not recharge stones under the full moon. Yeah, so it's a good time to kind of take it easy too as well, because there's things that need to be released. You don't want to be charging your crystals and doing all those things around the time of the eclipses. It's more like I said, surrender. You'll get more done. You'll go farther if you learn acceptance and you learn to surrender. Notice that introspection and meditation are extremely important, as I spoke on in our video segment before this video on Virgo season. We did speak about traditional meditation, which we have been, and like I said, it's been extremely rewarding for me, and it's just brought a profound level of clarity to my life in a way that has allowed me to really ground and hone in on that vibration, which I know I am. Full moon's also related to your instinct and your intuition, so always be mindful of your intuition right now, especially with it being in Pisces. Deep water, mutable water. You will feel certain things that are intuitive, and what is intuitive and what you need to release. You will have a sense, spidey senses and things of that nature. So what you do have a hunch on, what you do have a level of, what you have been thinking about and things of that nature, that usually is where you need to needs to be released. Maybe you've been thinking about it but haven't been wanting to address it and things of that nature. Maybe there's things you not need to discuss but haven't been wanting to go through those emotions. That's exactly where it needs to be, and where it needs to be looked at. So do not doubt your intuition. Do not doubt your dreams right now. Do not doubt your visions. Do not doubt your meditations. Do not doubt your visualizations. Pisces right now is very powerful to utilize your imagination. You can really hone in on the routine and state of being that you're looking to cultivate. You may feel a big need to get clear with things right now, just clear overall in a sense of starting at ground zero, clearing your space, going from everything to nothing, and I think that's a big thing with Virgo energy being, the hermit, and then, Virgo being the virgin and things of that nature. It's kind of getting rid of the muddiness during this time, the fog, and what was fog, and routine may help you get through that fog and develop some clarity, which is why meditation and routine and pen to paper and things of this topic is so these topics are so important, because it allows you to kind of get rid of the fog and all the clarity that's needed during Virgo season, to really clear out what no longer works and what has been working. And that's exactly what's needed during Virgo season, to develop the routines you need moving forward, right? To develop the right relationships that you need during Libra season, to go deep with those connections during and develop certain resources during Scorpio season, right? So as you trickle down the line, you don't want to miss these shifts. So it's important to actually get clear right now what you want to do routinely, which is based upon your value systems. This could be you getting a new job. You may notice yourself losing a job. You may end up in certain people may end up in certain legal systems, losing out on certain opportunities and things of that nature. These losses, these situations could appear as losses, but they are they're disguised as losses, and they are welcoming and ushering something new. So if these losses, if you've been noticing losses, these are just something that you've been thinking about or been leaving on the back burner for too long, and it just happens to appear as a loss now. But it's just something that's been needing to be released, and honestly, it's something that you probably wanted to be released for a long time. It's just you haven't consciously, emotionally went through the process. Like I said, that state of being you haven't processed emotionally, so therefore you weren't there to meet it vibrationally. And when you're not there to meet the external energy vibrationally, or the spiritual energy vibrationally, then it'll appear outside of you, right? But if those who recognize that energy, spiritually speaking, vibrationally speaking, then they would be the one to be the cause and effect to that change. You see what I'm saying? They would say, okay, well, no, this is not what I resonate with anymore. Let me change the circumstance, because they're the cause and effect. Instead, it played out reverse, based upon you not processing that emotion or putting it on the back burner for the sake of whatever other desire, etc. But that's another video. With that being said, guys, if you're going through, congratulations. It's a blessing in disguise. Obviously, full moon time, so whatever, there still can be full moon scenarios playing out. Be mindful of this time. If you're not going within, do not go without, because it will play out as a full moon scenario. It is the eclipse. Things do and can happen during these times if you're not in a period of acceptance and energy of surrender, and an energy of moving forward, growing, getting clear, developing a new routine, a new structure around what you're doing and who you are. And I would say expect the full moon scenario. C333.